Oh hey guys, I've just put the I put the motor on because, you know, I'll just do these things and go. Otherwise I'll be playing around on the phone, but at the same time it's like I am playing around on the phone because I'm wasting time this way. Alright. So I'm going to do 2 recordings. One is called The Link Between Autism and ADHD. My theories on it. And I was thinking this, and I've seen other people do things online. Didn't exactly say the same things. I'm not saying that it's completely different, but basically all the different types of functionings of the brain and the body had their places and their value. They had heaps of value, you know. The second one will be after I've done this one, obviously, which will be when with opportunities and a lack of oppression comes acceptance, as in like me accepting someone else's point of view because they aren't getting in our way, you know what I mean? So, the link between autism and ADHD. Just wanted to get out of the house and go to we'll see what's at the Autism Resource Centre. I have a pretty good idea, but it's just good to talk to someone, because you're stuck at home with no work. I mean, yeah, I'm going to get paid tomorrow and stuff, but it's just nice to talk to someone. And I know my channel's not going anywhere. It's not that I'm a quitter. As just remember, I said 5 years, so it's coming up to 5 years. 5 years as of June 2025. So basically the link between autism and stuff, because in the hunter-gatherer days, in the throughout human history, we would have had to collaborate, you know, autistic people, ADHD people, and neurotypicals. Well, who knows what they would have been called back then, because neurotypical just means like your average, the person who views things and learns things the normal way as of what's deemed normal today. Now, the autistic person, they would have been the ones that would have studied the seasons, like all the functionings of winter and all the functionings of summer and all the functionings of autumn and fall, and they would have come up with the names for it, and they, you know, because it's detail orientated, and so they could have studied the life expectancy and studied all these things about all the different animals and how they operate and what they eat, and where they have the upper hand, where they have weaknesses, all this type of stuff, right? And, you know, the cycles of life. It's a circle of life, all that type of thing, you know? Autistic people would have come up with that because it's detail orientated, and it's not just like, you know, so you've got to ask, why do they do this? You know, how do they do this? Why do they do this? Blah, 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 blah. What's their set routine functioning? Right? Studying. You know, on all the different animals and the functionings of the weather, like summer, winter, autumn, fall, all that type of thing would have been autistic people, right? But you can't do that if you got killed. Like, systematic said, you can't do that if you get killed from a lion, right? Now, basically, neurotypicals are farmers, right? So, you learn the structure of this one thing rather than a variety of things, and you only keep the information you need about these things. But the thing is you can get rid of information you don't need, but the thing is later on you might actually need that information because a wild card might happen, or something in the functioning might be off, and that's where all the finer details come into play, right? That's where all the finer details come into play. But the upper hands that the neurotypicals will be is they don't have all that excess information holding them back. That's why a lot of autistic people take a lot of time to process everything, because they're aligning everything with how did this go wrong, and like the data bank. Okay, so this person responded this way. Maybe it's because of their socioeconomic status, their age, their gender, their neurology, ethnicity. You're going through the whole data bank as to why they did that, and so you can formulate a better strategy for future situations that are the same. But with neurotypicals, it's just like, okay, this is what works. Okay, sweet. So there's pros and cons to that, just like there's pros and cons to the natural wiring of the brain that autistic people have, which is very detailed oriented as to why everything has happened, and the structure and the process, and updating the data bank based upon these informations, as well as adding it into the all the information we've learnt from past events, or past social interactions, or past sequences, and past when we performed a certain task, right? Dishes or whatever, or like studying information, or how come the machine started malfunctioning, right? Because we followed all the processes, we followed everything that we know, and it has been working, but it's gone off. So now we have to figure out why it went off on this one time, or it just malfunctioned this one time, because the other 10,000 times it happened correctly. But that doesn't matter, because this one time here, it was drastic. So we got to go through the whole process again to figure out what happened on that one time, which takes a much longer time than just saying, then receiving information, okay, sweet, that's what works, get rid of the stuff that doesn't work, carry on. So there's pros and cons to it. There's pros and cons towards the autistic mind and the neurotypical mind. It's just that neurotypicals are the high majority, because there's level 1 autism, level 2, level 3, and then there's level 1 ADHD, level 2, level 3, and then there's schizophrenia, bipolar, all these other ones that I don't have. This confirmation, you hiccup or something, I'll go and put something down. Like, for example, I might be just driving along and then put my hand up like this and then just keep driving. But what if I'm driving along and then just something else happens, like something I fully didn't intend, and I can't explain it. You just see it if you ever saw it. It means that someone's watching it and they don't believe me, but that mishap of something happened that I didn't intend to happen, that came as a result, like, of my actions. Like, I put my hand on the horn and honked it instead of putting it here. It's a confirmation. But the other form is hiccups. So, and then the ADHD person, well, they would have been just on the spot. Okay, like, high alert, this is what's happening right here, right now. You got 20 seconds to respond. And like, look, there's a saber-toothed tiger there. You didn't see him. He jumped out of the bush. All this spear of the moment stuff. And so you can imagine how useful that would have been for the autistic person, and how autistic person would have seen much use in the ADHD, and